The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.
Whoosh. Whoosh. Oh my gosh. Woo. We're out here. Friday fitness. Friends and fun.
I mean, what are you doing? 10?
Huh? Yeah, 10. 10. There we go. This is the American Ninja Warrior doing pull-ups. So for him, this is this is like easy. It's like drinking water. It's like drinking water for Godfrey. Doing pull-ups. We're all like, ugh. Woo. Woo. Let's do this. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's so nice outside. Ooh. 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 Alright, Godfrey, here we go. Nice. He's giving the bar a kiss every time it goes up. Dang. My man. Wow. Wow. Oh, two more. Two more. Let's go. Oh, here we go. Yes. Oh, I'm starting to feel all the blood. Feel up all the arms. Feels so nice. Oh, baby. Here we go. Yeah, this is the pre-podcast warm-up. Woo! Mm-hmm. Amazing.
And extend your arm.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Good work.
Oh, the blood. The blood is, it feels so everywhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
Face starting.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. I like it. Woo-hoo. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, here we go. The Ninja Warrior's back. It's getting too hot for him outside. Oof. Oof. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his clothes were weighing him down, so he had to take it off. Oh my god.
That's 5.
That's 5.
You got it. Okay, good. Nice.
My nasal.
Alright, here we go. Here we go. Nice.
Part 3 can go non-stop.
Nice. Woo, let's go. That's fine, we gotta keep going. Oh. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. Oh my god. Let's get it. Let's go. Oh. I love it. Here we go.
Alright. Alright. That's it.
Yes. Ooh. I love it.
Alright. Welcome guys to the Meckanimal podcast. It's been a long time coming, and what's better than gathering some of my very good people for the first episode. And if it wasn't for one of them that I'm going to introduce very soon, I wouldn't be starting it today because I've been postponing it for quite some time now. Without further ado, introduce yourselves. Who will start first? I guess Peter. You go ahead.
Hello everybody on the Meckanimal YouTube channel and whoever else is watching this. I'm Peter, and I'm just a good friend of Meckanimal and a big supporter of Meckanimal. Yes, I'm just here to discuss whatever we're going to discuss.
And Stanny.
Hi everybody, my name is Stan, here a friend of the Meckanimal. Very excited about this podcast. We will see.
Very diversified panel. We got black guy, we got Asian guy, we got white guy, right?
Yes.
In these days of I guess virtue signaling. Well, I think.
And you know what's so cool about this?
We're abiding by the rules, right?
And we're all immigrants. Isn't that so cool?
Yeah,
Like we all came here for the same reason. To be here.
To be here. To be here, to live and to be productive.
Yes.
To be productive more than anything, yeah.
Yes. So since this is Godfrey's Meckanimal's first, podcast, let's talk a little bit about Godfrey. What kind of got you into, I guess, Meckanimal? Let's talk about Meckanimal.
Meckanimal, everybody already knows Meckanimal. The nickname comes from mechanical animal, half machine, half animal, half beast. That's pretty much that. I got into fitness 10 years ago, just to be as badass as possible. And I would now admit that Hannibal was the one who inspired me to get started. Hannibal for King, known by Hannibal for King. I don't know if in Ukraine you guys, because you're Ukrainian, so you may have come across, because he's very well known over there. They do a lot of street workout as well in Ukraine.
Yes.
So he's a beloved one, Hannibal, in the Ukrainian and Russian community. Possibly played out now, but back in his A days, he was pretty renowned. Back in the day. So yeah, shout out to Hannibal for King, and I guess he's part of the Meckanimal Meckanimal being where he is right now, because if it wasn't for seeing his video, I wouldn't have started. And of course the rest is just me pushing myself and doing what I need to do because nobody else will do it for me. So that's that. Fast forward 10 years, 11 years, here we are, and keep pushing in the boundary and inspiring other people. So that's the story of Meckanimal. For most people, people who already been following me, I don't think there's anything else that I can add. Probably my private life being a little obscure because I'm a little bit private, but I think I make a substantial effort at disclosing a little more than usual. Knowing that I have a child and that back in the days I wouldn't even entertain the idea of people other than my my close surrounding knowing that I have a child. So just me. Even my partner or my wife, nobody else really know about what's going on. I like to keep it that way because out of sight, out of trouble, right? That's what they say. So I like to go by those those basic principles of life. And the downside is, I guess, the average person can't really relate to the Meckanimal other than, I guess, training. That's the only part of me that they know. So, okay, he goes hard, he trains hard, but what else? What else does he have to provide, you know? So, something I'm working on. I know I could do better, but I'm just too lazy about just vlogging and exposing a little more than what I'm already showing. So that's pretty much the Meckanimal way of life. Keep it simple, private, and life is always great. The happiest person that maybe beside you, but I think I'm the happiest person that I know. I'm very fulfilled.
I think we're all very happy here. I think we're all, just enjoying life and appreciating life and the people in our lives. And
because a lot of people just really, people tend to showcase, especially on social media, they have the tendency to showcase much more than they actually enjoying. Like, I don't know how to put it in a simpler way. People are miserable and they just try to show something that they're really not, and at the same time making other people anxious about their lives, envious about the life that those people don't actually have. So it's kind of a vicious circle. Then you have miserable people making other people feeling miserable, and that's some shit, because it's just crazy, man. Yeah.
It's always gonna be a lot of fake on social media, on internet. That's just the part of our world. But like I said, all you need is loving people around you, healthy brain, and that's it. That's all you need for happiness. You don't need money, you don't need a fame, you don't need all that attention, like how many followers you have, how many people watching you. That's all. No matter if you don't have like people who don't trust in you, don't love you. That's the most important, at least for me. Like I said, I have my wife, my little son. That's my world. I don't need millions.
yes.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
You don't need much to be happy. Everything should be just simple. And that's all that matters. That's all that
We're
matters.
fixing a lamp. We're fixing something technical, something.
Let me see if I can get this possibly in the back here. Put it over there. That's a next level podcast. That's some ghetto podcast. Setting up in the middle of the podcast.
Did you edit this part out?
No, I won't edit it. Yeah,
I'm just
gonna. We're not gonna edit that thing.
Nice, that's
It's
nice.
gonna be live.
I mean, we're just moving the power
This is
adapter around.
as simple as real as it gets.
Yes.
Yeah, people
Okay.
can get to see the evolution of it. Well, so far, I think it's a pretty professional setup so far. Can't really complain.
It's a very professional setup. We have all the lighting, fixtures, all the. We got a mic. We have a
Yeah,
microphone.
the mic is there, recording, and the mic is on the camera as well, recording. So we have plenty of
The camera has a mic too.
plenty of sound inputs. Yeah, we have the backup on backup. So what else are we talking about today? How did we meet? I mean, I think it goes a few years back. I can't really recall how many years that I've known you. I know Stanley, we got introduced this year through Peter, but I've known Peter for a while now.
I think since 2016.
16, yeah, since your Olympic lifting days.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot has changed since then. Would you express what has changed since your Olympic lifting days? Because in your training style, in your family life, everything, like a lot of things have come to pass. And if you would kind of give us a synopsis of it, that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, so not a lot has changed since 2016 in terms of my training and stuff. Only reason why I stopped competing in Olympic weightlifting was when COVID hit last year. They stopped all the competitions, so I had no competitions to attend. And but I still train the movements. I still do the snatch, clean, and jerk from time to time. My training still kind of evolved over the years. I figure, find which movements I find I want to do frequently, so I don't like lose my ability to do certain things. But since I met you, I went from 2 little kids to now 3 kids, and just like things continue to evolve. So pretty much stays the same. It's just,
I mean, I think you have lost some weight considerably since then.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's what I want. That's what I want you to maybe brush on.
okay.
What was your motive? Because you start running the lats and doing a lot of endurance work, and obviously it has taken a toll on your Olympic lifting training. What would be the reason why you decided to get on that course at that time in your life?
Oh, well, I guess it kind of all fell in. I started the running thing because I wanted to do a routine. So I found in my life there was lots of uncertainty, just like anybody else's life. Things happen all the time. So then I realized, well, maybe I should do some kind of a routine so that no matter what kind of chaos happens in every day, I will be dependent on, or I'll know, I can be at peace with that there's something that I can do all the time. That no matter what happens, this thing stays constant. Kind of like the sun. And I realized no matter how anybody feels, irrespectively, the sun's always going to come up. And it's always going to come down. It doesn't matter how much cloud is out, how much snow, rain, it's always the same. So then I realized maybe I should be like the sun. No matter how much craziness is going on, this thing always goes up and always comes down. So if I can implement something to my life where it's kind of, replicates the characteristics of a sun, maybe I can get better control of my own life. Because during the time I started in 2018 is when I started my morning mandatory mile routine. Yeah. I was going through some things, and just like everybody else, I had a demand on looking for a way of doing it. And I did that from running.
Okay.
Yes.
So running is that thing that no matter what you could do every day, that's pretty much what you're trying to explain. I mean, that thing, running along with some other stuff in your routine.
Well, it wasn't just the running part. It was like I had to do something that was physically and mentally challenging that I can practice at the beginning of my day, so that no matter what happens throughout the day, I will have practiced already in a small scale something that'll replicate maybe throughout the day. So for example, I chose first thing in the morning for a reason, because first thing in the morning is the hardest time for anybody to want to do anything physically active. So what better way to mentally and physically train myself than to go out and do at least 1 mile of cardio? And that's kind of where I started. And then, you know, every morning, then within the first week, I would hear voices in my head saying, don't do this. Come on, just go to bed. Come on, you did 3 days in a row. Why did number 4? Take a break. And then I realized, I'm just like sitting here talking to myself, and then the longer I sit here talking to myself, the longer I'm sitting here talking to myself, and like nothing else happens. So then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm responsible for not letting anything happen, and I'm responsible for letting anything happen. So then I started off by running, and then running started off by stretching after I ran, and then I started to add more things to like a daily routine. And now I went from 4:45 every day to 4:15.
Now, what time do you wake up again?
4:15 every day.
Awesome. That's something that I'm gonna have to work up to. I'm not a morning person unless I have to wake up to go to work. So I have to put it out there.
Early birds.
I'm not an early bird. I can be an early bird if I need to, but preferably it would not be me. I think I'm kind of a hybrid when it comes to the circadian rhythm. I'm not a diurnal creature. I tend to be more of a nocturnal, but late nocturnal. So I think I'm kind of a hybrid because at the time where everybody have to wake up, that's probably where I tend to want to go to bed. So I guess I've adjusted to society rhythm because it works better for the naturally diurnal people, because that's pretty much what our society is regulated around. Going to bed, night and waking up in the morning. But some people are just born with a different cycle. So I think I've filled out the survey. I tend to be more of a hybrid type of person, yeah. So half nocturnal and half diurnal, but definitely not a diurnal person. I tend to thrive better at night. I do really better at night, yeah. I do better at night, but it is what it is.
Nice. Yeah. Well, let's start. So you're like a new dad. We're all new dads here. Let's talk a little bit about like how it is like being a father just during the pandemic, because it like happened like pandemic hit, boom, Costa came, and just like the whole experience of just fatherhood first time.
So just during pandemic, it's just crazy dealing with those doctors. It's just they trying to put those rules. Hey, you cannot be with your wife when she deliver. You cannot go with your baby to pediatrician. Only one parent. It just doesn't make any sense. Which is like if we're from the same household, if somebody gets sick, we all sick, right? Mm-hmm. But still, so missing those parts of my kids growing up, like visiting doctors and stuff like that wasn't cool. In general,
you mean like, sorry to cut you, you mean like they don't let you?
Yeah. So like literally 3 days after we get from hospital, we had to come back because my wife didn't have enough milk. So we didn't know that, nobody explained to us that she need to pump more. We was thinking it's only cholesterol, it's enough for newborns. Like I said, again, nobody talked to us before let us go home. So he got a little dehydrated. He got a temperature, so we had to come back. Of course, they didn't let me in. So they spent 3 days in hospital, 3 days, 3 nights in hospital. They was doing all type of tests on my son to make sure he didn't get any infection from dehydration, that he is fine, and they didn't want to let me in. It's only one parent.
Only the mother.
Yeah, every 30 minutes I was on a FaceTime, couldn't sleep, could not eat, just constant worry. You cannot be next to your family when you need, which is stupid in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
I was lucky, I guess. I mean, it was right before the COVID inception. My son was born in January, so it was good because the COVID took over like mid-March. So I guess you were
April
so you were in the
18th.
midst.
Right.
I just missed it. Yeah, we just missed it too. It's like,
by 2 months.
Yeah, because here and I
February.
kids like a week apart. So we missed the COVID paranoia right on the dot. Yeah, it's definitely annoying because I guess it's protocol, so they have to go by those strict rules. Whether it will make sense or not, they rather not go case by case and just follow the general rules to avoid all kind of liability. Because I would think trying to be nice, if something happened, then all these crazy lawsuits might just come out of it. And yeah, without even going through all the details, I don't know, I think YouTube will censor things when it starts delving into those opinion about whether the precaution taken, the lockdown and all this thing about COVID, when they tend to say a little too much, I guess they tend to censor the things here and there. So I don't know. For me, it's just as simple as take care of yourself. And I wish we could have been able to work to avoid those stress coming out of not being able to make money. Some businesses closed, and as personal trainers, it's like we having small businesses as well. So people are discouraged to train, and their income is cut short, and it's hard to get any type of unemployment, even if you wanted to. So it makes it definitely tough. But money comes and go, and that's beside the point. I feel even worse for people who worked to build businesses and like restaurants and stuff like that, and feel they need to close it. Imagine you just jumping off your restaurant and just 2 months into it, like you started like in beginning 2020, and by March they ask you guys to shut off, when that's really the critical part where you get all the loan and all that thing, and that's very sad, man.
Nobody shut that down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, people like the people on top, they like the empathy, because they can't really relate to the working class. When people are worrying about what's the next yacht they're going to buy. Yeah, that's very eerie. Those are the type of concern that hit them. And the companies who are supposed to open don't open, but the big chains, they are allowed to open. It's just weird, and it sounds counterintuitive what kind of decision they made. But we should just put that behind, and hopefully everything opens back again, and we do better and try better and get happier, because that's what we want to do. We want to be happy. That's the number one goal of Meckanimal podcast. I don't even know what name I'm gonna give it to the podcast.
just call it the podcast. That's what it is.
Can't be the podcast. It has to be the something podcast or the Meckanimal cast or something like that. Or just simpler Meckanimal podcast. It's just too long, I think, because Meckanimal is already long. They add podcast that's long. The Meckanimal cast could be good. The animal cast,
We'll think of
the
something.
Meckcast. Yeah,
We could do something with fathers. We're all fathers here.
Meckcast.
And this is on a Friday. We could do like a Father Friday something.
Could be. Could be. But
Yes.
I mean, if we make it about that, maybe in the future, there may be non-fathers that take part, that we invite as guests. So maybe Friday those people can feel discriminated against. I don't know.
It's okay, they can just get a plant and you're already a father right there.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a lot of subdivision. It could be the MECKANICAST that has Father Fridays, the episodes that are just us, and we could have other other topic as well with other different people. But the Father Fridays could just be the original, the first podcast itself, just us. Cause I guess as a default, it should be able to be either 2 or 3 of us. I mean, talking about anything or everything. So yeah, then that would be the Father Fridays, because mostly the Fridays, that's where we get to have time to get together. One of my day off, so.
Yes. Well, Sonny, listen, I want to, like, since we're all immigrants here, we're all here, and we're all fathers, we all love fitness, let's talk about, I want to know more about, like, let's say, your journey being here, and how fitness and being a father kind of work hand in hand.
So, I was a very good, decent boxer. Like basically all my childhood, train hard, compete, and got an injury, broken collarbone. So basically start with that, pause it, then start training in the gym. I was very skinny, I was like 145 with my height. So because of boxing, constant cardio, super skinny guy. Then get into the gym, start gaining some weight, and was training combat sambo for a couple of years. Then of course, during 2013-2014 times in Ukraine, when the revolution started and the president changed, the war with Russia started, so they wanted to pull me as a soldier to fight with Russians in Ukrainian war, which I don't think I want to do because my father is from Russia and my mother is German. So there was 2 ways for me, actually 3 ways. The first one was to go and fight with a brotherhood nation for nothing, for politicians to make money wherever. Don't want to get into that. The second one was to go to jail for 5 years, is refusing to become a soldier because this is a law. You have to be.
You have to be gone.
Yeah, you have to be gone. And number 3, it was collecting money and escaping from that country and forgetting that country. So here I am in America. So you know which way.
Which option you chose?
That was tough. No language. 2015. I was working all year, collecting money for the program. I didn't know how it's gonna be in America. I didn't know what type of country is America. I never been aboard. So coming here and just no language. I don't have any friends, alone. Got a job in a pool company, swimming pool company as a lifeguard, but because I was like working good, so they start promoting me to the driver and then eventually supervisor, and I was learning the language. I was like, okay, I think this is the safe place where I can stay. My mother was keep receiving the letters from the government that there's a criminal case is open against me as a deserter or some stuff like that. So obviously I applied for asylum here because I want to live my life and not waste my life for, like I said, for politician fighting. Then was the time when I started getting I started training. I tried to train boxing in America, but that gym kind of involves more focus on a boxing fitness, which is not really my thing because I like to spar. I like to work in with a person, not a boxing. Yeah, not a boxing bag. When it was time to spar, the guys didn't want to because they were saying I hit the boxing bag too hard, and I was saying I'm not gonna hit you that hard, you're not a boxing bag. I just want to have that feeling again, I'm training, I train the sport that I love. So obviously I stopped because I was thinking, okay, it's just I'm wasting my money, paying that money just to come in the gym and punch the boxing bag. It doesn't make sense. And there was a time I started training in the gym, and actually I started working in the gym as a personal trainer. And I started training, and then I got injured again. My shoulder, as before, got injured. So 2 years I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do proper bench press, pull-ups, dips, nothing. Always constant pain. Recently, I said, when my wife was pregnant, I gained a lot of weight. My probably my stomach was bigger than hers.
How much weight you got? Do you think?
So I was 220.
Okay.
220, and that was crazy. And then
So 220 is when you gain weight or before you gain weight?
when I gained weight.
Okay, and before that, how much were you when you were fighting as a boxer? What weight class were you fighting?
Oh, when I was like fighting, it's like 145, 155.
Oh man, you were really
skinny.
So, of course, you walk.
He's taller than both of us. He was like I 145, was 150.
super
Skinny. There's like literally bones and skin.
But you walk around, I would say 160 something. When because you have to cut weight, right, to be able to fight.
No. So it's not like in a amateur like career like that I had. We're not that focused on like cutting the weight as professionals. You know, we don't know those tricks. So as a kid, I was trying to trick the scale, just not eating before I going on the scale. So that's the only weight cutting I was pretty much doing. So basically, what I was competing, that was my actual weight.
Okay.
In the boxing. Like I said, I gained most in America, and then was the point when I was like, okay, it's time to start actually losing. Like I said, I got a son, and I'm looking at him and the way how he looks at me. I'm like, I don't want him to look at me like, hey, daddy is like fat, don't do anything, just sit on the couch watching TV or without hurting myself. I'm still like in process of getting my form back. Like I wanna be big, very big and strong. So start working back with the weights again, getting my power, actually improving, like better than before. So and
you planning? What's the weights that you're planning to get back to?
So I'm not really. So before when we just started with speed, I was more focused on like getting abs, getting like shape, getting skinny. But then I was like, okay, what is all of that without the power?
Right.
So I decided for myself, I'm not gonna be focusing on specific part like getting six pack. I'll be focusing on just being strong and healthy. That's all I need. By training everything, being healthy, the stomach gonna be gone eventually. You know, you don't have to be focused like on six pack because society tells you the six pack is that's what you should have. Like I said, as long as I can bench decent man, squat and do pull, like I'm fine. Like I just want to be strong and that's it, and healthy.
That's the way to look at it.
The look is the last thing.
Yeah,
like because
the look is a side effect of all.
Yeah, it'll happen.
It's bound to happen eventually when you do the right thing. And obsessing less about it is a much healthier approach to it. You get not you get not to get lost into some compulsive behavior, you know. So focus about the performance, like I always say, like I always do, and the body is just a side effect of it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're glad that you were able to escape this tyranny, and hopefully we don't get you in trouble with this clip here. Is your family back there or here?
Don't worry. There's no Russian Secret Service I think watching.
You never know, right? It's on the internet, so anything that can be said can be used to harm you in any way. And one of the reasons why I so love privacy, because after even reading the book of Edward Snowden about how all the information that being compiled and hoarded unnecessarily, it's scary, man. Like being watched, and it's not an overstatement. It is true. So people should just be mindful. And like I always say, like if you want to post something, you have to analyze and see all around. In 50 years, would you still be good with that information that you want to post? People they just don't think, man. People just post anything just out of sheer, what word would I be using? Compulsion. Yeah, they just post anything. Yeah, crazy. And then even like in the year times, it's something as basic that can hurt you in 1 year, they don't really care because things can hurt you, can be fine for the next 10 years, and on that 11th year, that's where it can catch up to you. You want to run for a position. I mean, right now you may say, no, I'm not into this and that, I'm not going to run for an office. Like me, for example, I hate anything that's corporation driven. Like, I will be the last person to say that I will be in corporate, in the corporate world and trying to make my way up the echelon. But you never know. We say no now, but maybe we evolve. Maybe in 10, 20 years, I'll be a different person that changed his mind. That's part of evolution. So at that time, when it's time to do what I need to do, maybe a lot of the nonsense I've said, which back then was not nonsense, can catch up to you. So I would say people just to be careful what they post on social media, So
Always think before you do. That's what my father told me.
Right, you see, and those old saying, it never goes out there, especially from, those quotes derived from anecdotal stories. Is always good teaching, always think before you act. I think there's another saying like measure twice and cut once, because once you cut it, there's no way to sew it back. So make sure you double check everything before you go for it. Yeah, man. So yeah, and what was that? During your story, I was gonna ask something, but I had forgotten. So, and your injury, you had the injury before? Or
yes, broken collarbone. So I still have like how you call it, like scar tissue.
Yes.
Yeah, on the bone.
It mean it healed wrong? It healed like crooked?
So the thing, it was like a open break, and the doctors was like, you have to do surgery. They're gonna put a metal plastine on it, and in another month they're gonna take it out. I'm like, I got like the doctor who was actually a boxer in the past, so he was like, I'm gonna fix you without any surgery. And he did a great job. I mean, like, I'm benching like a lot again, so like he did a great job.
So what did he do to fix that?
So I was wearing those type of rings. It's like 2 rings, and it was like tight in front and more tight on the back. So it's kind of was pulling my shoulder back and my bone back. And every week he was like retying them. And this arm was always like keeping in this position. So I cannot. When I just started train again, I could not lift 10-pound bar. I could not press 10-pound bar. And I remember some guys was laughing on me,
Yeah. So I guess one doctor wanted to go for the easiest routes, and the one that saved you from surgery went for the more cumbersome, but actually that worked,
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and I think it's the same will go for those surgeries, abdominal hernia. I think people tend to go for the mesh surgery because it's in and out within 6 weeks or so. You're back to to what you want to do. While the deep surgery where they actually sew together your tissues will probably take a half a year. Of recovery. So people I want to believe that the worry about from those doctors is that they're looking out for you to get back to normal, your normal like activities, or they just see you as a cattle livestock, and as much surgery as they get you in, they get like a kick in from the mesh companies, because
a
kickback. Thank you for correcting me. A kickback from those mesh companies, because I heard of rejection of the meshes. They're not that they're problematic, in terms of effectiveness. So there are so many companies of them. How many, I'm not sure, I couldn't tell. But I know a number of them have been rejected by the body as foreign entities, and they've had some lawsuits. You know how they go with those class action lawsuits. And of course, it's been put under the rug, and life goes on, because as usual the media only cover the non-essential stuff, and unfortunately that's how it is. You have to really be focused to get what's essential and make decisions, wise decisions based on the essential that most people don't get to grasp. So you have the mesh thing, like it's squeaking and out, and those doctors make as many as possible, and then you get a rejection, and when you're rejected, then you have to go over again and do the same surgery, or possibly resort to the real, sew up. Then you have lost already so few months, and then you have to do what they were trying to avoid. So my take was, why not just go for the classic or traditional way of fixing the hernia, unless the patient wants really to be done with it. Because I think the doctor would just suggest the mesh first, as opposed to because if I trust your opinion, the first thing, what you suggest, the best is the one that I'm going to go by. But because the intention are not well placed, they probably suggest the one that's more lucrative and that can get you out quickly, as opposed to one that will work and for the long term and with less side effects, with less possible side effect. They're not going to go for that. I think fortunately I have a friend, I think she had, Sunny, she had a procedure. So far so good, so I guess she's lucky. It hasn't rejected and she's good so far. But I've heard of stories where it rejects, and sometimes it's painful that the body rejecting the mesh and it doesn't blend well together.
With the body.
But to the body, yeah.
So we're all we're all training diligently, and we're all trying to improve in our everyday lives and our own fitness. So I'll be happy to start, but let's all say one thing that we want to try or venture or even improve on, like a quality of fitness. And for my example, what I'd like to improve, let's say this year, is swimming. I recognize and acknowledge that I need to be a stronger swimmer. I tried swimming the other day with the kids. We went out to the creek. The water was 50 degrees, just so cold. And I tried to swim a little further down, and I couldn't swim. I couldn't swim. I was like, my legs didn't want to come up, and I was like, I thought I knew how to swim, but then I couldn't swim. And I realized,
how deep was the water?
It was maybe 3 feet deep. It wasn't that it was deep. It was
that's what I'm saying. Maybe sometime when the water is not deep, you can't really swim, right?
No, bro. I felt it, man. I felt my legs saying, no way.
Because for me,
like a break.
For me, my feet sink, so the water has to be deep enough for me to.
Bro, you don't understand. I was telling my kids.
I can't really swim, which I guess will bring when it will be my turn too.
Yeah, I'm like fish in the water.
Like fish, okay.
I mean, the funny part, I gotta watch you swim. We gotta do it together. So yeah, I will train my son, but don't tell anybody child services because that's how my father trained me.
Throw them in the water
from the bridge. I mean, not the bridge, so it's
so your father threw you. So you have to correct it. Your father threw you from the bridge. No, you are not. You are
maybe a smaller bridge
going to do the same. That's what you mean. That's an example of what your father did, and you might apply the same principle, which will mean, son, go get it. But yeah, nobody's going to throw anybody from the bridge.
Yeah, nobody.
And I think for those who probably didn't know, kids, they float natural, but I think you mentioned
you gotta do it before a certain time.
Before 9 months.
Yeah,
it has to be before 9 months. After that, you have to be taught again, over again. But obviously, they have not experienced fear as adults, so they'll probably pick up faster than adults, even after 9 months. like my son, probably I will have to teach him again, all over again and get some classes. And hopefully he will be a better swimmer than his dad. I can swim, but I just cannot float. And I've tried everything though. I've tried everything, like all kind, and I work hard at anything that I set out to do. But swimming, I've had phases. I did work really hard. For some reason, I cannot float. Like I've had a lot of friends who are so-called like coaches and swimmers. They're like, yeah, I got you. And even back in the days, I mean, the pickup, not pickup line, but the pickup behavior. For some of the girls that I knew would be like, oh, I can't swim, and those girls, oh, I can teach you how to swim. That was some of my way to get close to girls before of course I got settled. But after a while, they see that, man, this guy cannot swim for shit. You can see it in their eye, like they're really desperate because they do this, do that, lay down, do this, take some air, and then this guy just keep on sinking, and you can see that they just did everything they can. I'm like, don't worry. It's okay. You're not the first one. So, I mean, people try already to make me float. It just don't happen. And my only alternative would be like just spend time long enough on it. You drill long enough for your body to get the skill. But I probably don't have enough passion to spend long enough because it might take a whole year or 2 years of drilling, keep drilling. Do I have the same passion I have for swimming that I have for bodyweight training? I don't think so. That's probably why I don't have it. I haven't mastered it because I spent half a year, that's for sure, really hard at it, and I still haven't made any substantial, like the dive, the kick off the wall, the swimming pool wall, and get like the streamlined position and try to glide. I don't. As soon as I get off the wall, I start sinking in the water. No matter how much air I get in my thing, it just don't work. So anytime I have to freestyle, you need that streamlined position. It doesn't work. I have to do the frog, the breaststroke. For that, if I do that, I can go forever. So I can swim for an hour. Like I think I did a 60 something laps of a 25 feet long thing.
That's almost 1 mile.
Yeah, like I did a mile, I think, at that time, a little over a mile of swimming.
Yeah.
So it took me less than an hour, but I can go, like I can manage my breathing, like two stroke inside, 1 out where I exhale. I can get that on the dot because I can just kick my leg enough to get up, but I cannot float. If I get a good pattern, I can keep moving in the water to the point that I used to call myself, I'm a submarine. I'm not. I'm a torpedo. I'm not. I cannot be like a dolphin and do all these things on the surface, but I can move in the water. It's just that it's not efficient. I can't really race, so I can't do the fancy. I love the freestyle, but I can't freestyle, man. It looks so simple, like people think. For me, when I do that, my body is there and my leg out here. They're like, just get some air, raise your butt. I do all this thing. I know how to get your body hollow because I do gymnastic work all the time. So I know what to do to get my body streamlined. It's just that for some reason, I just sink. I don't know. It's just weird, man. I did the dead body thing. Even the back is even worse because I can't relax enough to do. I did the front one because I can relax, exhale, but still half a second up and I start sinking. And I relax completely. I can even hold my breath underwater for like a minute and a half. So it's not like I'm afraid to sink. I relax as much as I can. I just can't. Maybe I don't get the concept of relax enough. Maybe I'm still holding on to something, but I don't think I'm panicking because if somebody can hold his breath for over a minute, I don't think the person is panicking. You need to really relax enough to be able to control. Yeah. So people tell me, it's because you're not relaxed enough. So those people who are desperate to teach me and fail, they usually come to the excuse that probably I'm not relaxed enough. I just need to relax. But I know that I'm relaxed enough because unless I'm in the sea, I'm not afraid to drown. Even in the deep thing, come on, man, really? Unless you knock me out, then I'm gonna just pass out and lose control. But I'm not afraid of deep water. I just can't float. I don't know. I try everything.
What about you, son? What is one cool
thing you would want to improve this year?
Improve my cardio.
Cardio?
Definitely cardio, yeah. I used to have perfect cardio, now it's like...
You're supposed to figure all cardio.
Now it's like, decline mine, but we're gonna go.
But it's there though, and so I won't really worry. The thing is, you just have to lose the weight and get the thing back on, because people who have had a really great cardio years back, and people who have run cross country in high school and later on lift weights, they tend to have better cardio than people who have not really pushed the long endurance to that extent. So I feel like it's something that never goes away. Your cells, your mitochondria, they have gotten accustomed to that type of stimulus already. You just have to stimulate those pathways back again, and you get it back really fast, faster than somebody who has to get there, because you've been there already.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not a big deal. Yeah. You would definitely get it back.
What about you, Godfrey? What about you? Do you have anything like you'd like to?
Not really. Just
any kind of improvement?
Keep on my path. Because at any given time, I'm always aspiring to do what I need to do, right? So I have pretty much the same goals that I've had for the past at least 5 years. The same fitness goals for the past 5 years. I still have them because I haven't really mastered them yet. So I just keep going on that path. And it has to be something. Let me see. What
iron cross?
Iron cross. You have to get, even some of the gymnastics or the planche. You have to get eventually. Get some version of straddle and the front lever. I have to peak for it, and even then it's not perfect. And I want to be able to, at any given day, get in that front lever if I want to, not having to peak for a few months before I can get that. So it's just some of these things might be limited by my genetic potential, but again, it's no excuse, and I have a lifetime to reach those goals. So unless I've tried, I will not really know if I'm really limited or if it's the lack of work that's keeping me from having those. Swimming, probably not on my list at the moment. If by mistake I get around pool, why not? I'll probably swim and maybe spark back my need to perfect my technique. But again, it probably depends if I have somebody who really teach me something that make my performance different than what I already knew, then it might give me new hope. Because I think I give up I just gave up out of desperation, because I felt.
You know what we should do for the swimming thing?
It's not working, so.
Since Donnie, you're like a dolphin, since you're like swimming so well, we should pick like a river when it gets a little warmer.
No, I'm not going to the river, man. That shit is...
Come on, bro. That's why I want to learn how to swim, man. If I fall, I want to be like, I can get out of here, you know?
I'm not going to the river. Those rivers, the Delhi, man. Shit.
Where is swim?
That's how I learn.
No, but I'll follow you. So it's like the best way to learn, right? It's like, okay, follow me.
People get stuck in those muds and those... how you call these?
We'll pick a calm river. We'll go to this calm river.
Plus, some of these things are dirty. You don't know what's under.
So it's okay. That's my city. That's what my city is.
I got some snake in there, some crocodile.
It's okay, baby. But they don't bite under the water.
That's what I heard. But shit,
I don't believe that. On a snake.
Somebody needs to get close to a snake and play with the snake in the water so I can see the snake's not gonna bite. I heard those things bite. Some snake will bite you in the water. He said they can multitask.
The river
swimming and biting. I think there's a water snake who bite. They can. I think the moccasin swim, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that thing will bite you.
We're not gonna go to a river where they're gonna have those.
I don't know. In Maryland, they have plenty of them.
Have you seen them?
I have. I've seen like friends that taking picture of them, like around the Potomac River. Like in Maryland, we have a lot. We have a lot of moccasins.
Yeah, not swim in Potomac River. Yeah, no, not
that
the river.
That dangerous.
The
rapids.
Non-clear plant.
Oh, it's there.
is located right next to
Right
Atomic.
next. You're gonna grow a wing if you swim in that thing.
Don't do that. I'm telling you, I know Chernobyl. I know Chernobyl in Ukraine, so
Yeah,
please
after
don't
speaking of
swim.
Chernobyl, the TV show Chernobyl was pretty good too.
Yeah, they had some inaccuracies.
Some inaccuracy.
Yeah, but
I mean, of course.
overall,
That's like every dramatization.
Dramatization.
Oh,
So what's the inaccuracy in that?
I mean, for example, the chopper scene, the chopper fell. It's
Oh yeah, that's a dramatization.
No, it happened,
Yeah,
but it
no.
happened later.
Oh, okay.
After already they put down the fire and everything. Then
I think they tell you what was real and what was not at the end of it, or maybe I've seen on YouTube, like the people who swam under, the workers, the three guys. I mean, they still survived. They still.
one died from the heart attack in
Lately.
56 years old.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't die from being exposed
No.
to that. But I think in the show they passed from it, or they just didn't disclose it. By the end of the show, I think they. put the stories of
they
it.
said.
Even some of the coal mine guys, I think many of them did.
Those are my favorite guys. Those miners.
They're
Those are my
hardcore,
favorite
man.
guys.
The thing is, like
Yeah,
some people refusing radiation. So like there was a guys who was like directly exposed to radiation, but they didn't die. You know, they feel bad symptoms like, but they didn't die. But there are some people who didn't get even that much, but they died. So
Right.
it's like
But it's just like everything. Everybody got like a tolerance to everything. We have tolerance to what you call the various hazardous substances. Everybody got different tolerances. Some people tolerate more than others. Just the way of life.
you need to eat more bananas. Bananas is perfect, perfect. I guess.
They're radioactive.
For radiative?
Huh?
Potassium's radioactive.
They have if you
Potassium's radioactive.
Is it?
If you eat like certain amounts of bananas,
Yeah.
you're gonna die from radiation poisoning.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but obviously, when you eat like let's say I eat 2-3 per day,
So, but how does it fight radioactivity?
it helps your body to like get used to it.
To get the tolerance to
Like you know how
okay,
the
to
kings,
build the
you know how
tolerance.
the kings used to get since they babies like little like doses of poison. So when they grow up,
They grow up,
since
yeah.
some punk trying to poison them, they
Yeah, you better know the right dose then, because if you get it by the right dose,
Lots of people die to find the right dose. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure plenty of
They-
people
they
try
test it
this
first.
too much. Okay, let's do a little bit. Too much. Okay.
They're gonna use it as a servant as guinea pig. Possibly not.
well, we live in the best times. What else I can say?
Yeah, everyone already died for all those things.
Yeah, the river, like lakes, rivers, all this creepy.
That's where I want to swim. The
all
pool.
this
I don't care about the
creepy-
pool. I
all
want to
this-
swim
all
like.
this creepy waterbed. I can't comprehend that.
I work in a pool company, right?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna tell you how many chemicals inside
I
the
know,
pool,
I understand.
you're
that.
never gonna put your leg inside the pool.
I understand the concept of chemical, but I'm talking about the hazard that you face, not the dirt, actually, because I mean you'll be fine just unless you have like a plant that's polluting the lake or the river. In terms of normal death, I mean those bacteria, you'll be really out of luck to be exposed to the flesh-eating bacteria. Those are really.
But that only affects you if you have an open wound, also.
I don't know because
Yeah.
I've seen those. Man, they fuck you up, man.
Yeah, people die from that.
Yeah,
I've seen.
those amoeba. What's it called? Man, that's scary. I'm like,
Yes,
damn, so
like
you went to the
parasite
beach. You went to the beach and you got that thing, and oof. I'm like, damn. That's.
But then again, you always hear about those rare cases, right?
Yeah.
Like you hear about the one person who,
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
shark
Yeah.
took all the butt. I mean, it's like it happens.
Yeah.
Things happen.
It happens.
It's like
Everywhere.
it's like if you wanna do something, never tell your grandma because she has a story
Bro.
of somebody dying in it. like always.
Yes, no, always. Someone did something before.
Someone always did something.
Just
Yeah.
don't think about bad stuff happening to you because when you think about it, you
It will happen.
attract it to yourself. Like I said, enjoy it. Whatever happening for a reason. But
I don't know, man. I just don't want to be the luckiest person.
I just
That's why I don't ever want to win the lottery because the chance, the type of odd that gets you to win the lottery puts you in those odds to have bad luck. So I just want to be an average person that has the average luck, So hopefully I can ride this life wave for the longest. And not having to crash in the plane, not having to be struck by the lightning when almost nobody does. Like, it's crazy, man. I just want to be in the middle and ride the wave, man.
Did you see that dude in China who got shot by lightning twice?
I heard even more times.
Like, no, 2 times on a video. And he stand up and walk.
Yeah.
He got shot first time. He like what the hell, you know?
Oh my God.
He stand up, he start walking. He get shot second time. This is God like really punished him for something. And then he stand up again and he keep walking. You can Google.
That is amazing.
That guy is like wow. He was born in.
It's like it's crazy. Let me see. Well, so I think we're closing in an hour. We're gonna try to keep it short, I guess, for that first.
Well, let's end with this. Let's tell somebody something.
Expansion, attention span is very low, and we can't keep it around an hour. I was thinking 30 minutes, but 30 minutes is too little for us to express all we want. So think about an hour should be good for now. We can gather every so often about an hour and just talk about everything and nothing.
Got to introduce ourselves, talk about ourselves a little bit, and let's start with Godfrey. Any words for our viewers for the first time? Words of encouragement, anything we want to say?
Not really, and that sounds depressing and silly, but I don't think I have anything else than what I already spoke about during the podcast. But I would say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for gifting us your precious time and listening about our rambling, because that's what I'd like to call it. And nowadays it's not given to spend some time and give your precious minutes to listening to other people's lives. And thank you for tuning in, and we're in here for a long run. Hopefully we get to have many more episodes as such and discuss all the interesting topic. Feel free to drop in the comments section topics that you would like us to expand on in the future, and some suggestions that you give for the development of the podcast and other episodes to come. And do you guys have any last word to
Stoney?
Yeah, Stanley, you have any
Last words before the execution. First time doing something like this was like kind of at some points little nervous, but then kind of relaxed, Just like nobody is there, nobody what say. Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. This is not Joe Rogan cast.
Exactly right. I was like, okay.
I'm probably
This is like something
to go to a podcast that's being watched by tens of millions of people. But again, regardless of the platform, you just have to be you, right? Because you try to portray a different character, that's where you stumble and start biting your tongue and ridicule yourself. So all you can do is be yourself and have everything, let off everything from your heart and your whole being. That's about it. You have anything to say, Peter?
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe on the Meckanimal YouTube page. We don't have YouTube pages, so this is the only one you even want to click and subscribe to. It's right down here somewhere. I'm doing what yes. Anyway, I want to leave with...
Now we haven't even talked about the snakes and all this thing. We were talking about
plenty of stuff to come.
I know. That should be something to have people like a sneak peek for upcoming episodes, right? But Peter here loves snakes and
it's all life.
He's hoarding a lot of snakes in his house, and it's a creepy sight for the people who are not used to.
I got on with it.
I mean, my wife got
you have 25 snakes or 26 going.
Who's counting?
Right? Lost count, and I guess you're a snake.
Like every time I tell somebody, I have ball python and I have boar, they're like, you crazy man, you crazy. Right? Come on, like relax, I'm crazy.
It's always interesting.
Are we friends?
yeah, people who like snake, they really like snake, and they see them as splendid and beautiful beings.
Yes.
But
We just need
but
to
the average person don't see it. We see them as sneaky and scary creatures. So
I mean,
it's just
they
perception.
are sneaky, you know.
They
So,
are
like,
sneaky,
that's why I
but
say
most
snake.
people are scared of them.
I mean, you have right to, because like if you step on a snake in the grass, it's gonna bite you. That's why they say it's a snake in the grass, because you never know when you're gonna step on it. But like if you treat snake with respect, snake
Sure.
gonna treat you with respect. Like I said, and in my opinion, we need to be closer to the nature, because we're getting far from the nature in modern society. So everything is electronic. Like all that stuff, you don't see people hanging out anymore. Like my childhood was outside with the boys. I never, like, we was playing all the time. Like
But you suggest playing with snake is the easiest way to get close to nature?
This one way. Oh, come on, man!
Everybody. But look.
No, I'll hang my rings. I'll hang my rings. I'll hang my rings in the forest.
That's like a self-control.
and work out. That's my way to get close to nature.
That's like a self-control,
I like it.
because if you
and
relax,
keep my eyes on the rings. Maybe a snake like sneak on me on the rings and bite my ass. Yeah, I'll be on the lookout. That's my way of getting close to nature. But I do get what you're saying though.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about all this stuff in future episode anyway. So again, thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and everything is and will always be the Meckanimal way. And may the struggle be overcome. Salute.
yes. Nice.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.